Isolation day 43, Thursday the 30th of April. I hope everyone's well and you're looking after yourselves. It's been month end for me, so I've had my head down all day, seriously busy, which is actually quite a good thing because the weather here has been atrocious. It's been raining for 2 days, so I managed to get outside for about 10 minutes. That's about it really, to be honest. Let's have a look at my blood sugars. This is the Medtronic CareLink report. 3 blood glucose readings in the day. Sensor duration 20 hours. The sensor, you'll see a bit later, switched off in the middle of the night, and also it needed calibrating during the day, but I had my head down working and I was in meetings. I wasn't able to calibrate it till I came out of those meetings. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you're busy, and I'm sure it's happened to anyone watching here, is at times you just have to make do and put up with it. Again, suspend duration, 8.5 hours, or 8 hours 50 minutes actually, almost 9 hours, which is the worst by far. Let's have a look why. Up and down again, a lot below 5. As you can see, there's a number of periods below, and you can see the break here in the middle of the night, and the large break in time when I was in the meeting here. Let's move on. 3 blood glucose readings, 4.2, 5.9, 3.6. Average blood glucose, 4.6. Average sensor, average daily carbs, 43. So 89% daily basal, 11% bolus. Didn't eat a lot for the day. And the telling report is this one. So again, amount of hours it will switch off. And these aren't entire hours, these are just how often it's happening. So what I thought I would do is, that's all well and good, you've seen this for a few nights now. When I adjusted yesterday my basal rate, that was after all of this had been done. So I adjusted my blood sugar about here in the evening, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock when I recorded this yesterday. Therefore, the adjustments that you will see will be in tomorrow. Let's have a look. I wanted to look at the sensor and meter overview. And you can see, yeah, you know what, overall it really doesn't go low very often in the morning because we've been working on the basal, but here quite often in the evening. Further down, this is quite telling. You can see here the average readings. This is my blood glucose readings for the last 2 weeks, and you can see, yes, these aren't too bad actually as an average, but when we get to here, you can see that that period of time, if that's the average, that means it's been lower and higher. So between 4 and 9 p.m. So what I'm going to do is, yes, I'm going to adjust it. I've already adjusted it. I'm going to adjust it one more time and a little bit further between 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the evening. So between 2 and 8, I'm going to reduce it a bit further, my basal rate, to try and make sure that this doesn't happen. And we will see where that goes tomorrow. I've been working with a guy called Jason Graystone. He's a very good friend of mine, and I've been working with him on and off for about 20 years. I was actually his accountant when he started his first business. Now, Jason is an entrepreneur, and he has built numerous businesses over the years, and recently he's built a business called Tiers of Freedom, which is the drive for people to become financially independent. Jason often posts on Instagram. So his post today said, "We don't have all the answers. My advice is to build a team around you who do. Focus on what you are good at and what inspires you. Then build a team who does exactly that themselves, but in areas you are uninspired by." And I was thinking, strictly speaking, I understand what that means in a business environment, but does the same apply to being diabetic? Well, the problem that we have is we have to wear quite a few hats. We have to deal with food, we have to deal with sleep, we have to deal with exercise, we have to deal with work, we have to deal with family, we have to deal with our own emotions, mindset. There's so many hats that we have to wear being diabetic. And if you're a mum or a dad of a child who has diabetes, you know what, you have all the worry and the stress on top of it. So in many ways, yes, it can be worse. Jason talks about getting a team around you. I always think about this in relation to having diabetes, as you have to almost knock down the pins, or as I like to think about it, the spinning plates. So we have all of these spinning plates, and if one spinning plate goes, sometimes they all go. But at other times you've got half the spinning plates and one or two will go, and then you'll put them back up and you'll have all of them going. And that's the kind of way I think about diabetes. It's always a number of spinning plates. You just do the best you can. Yes, it's stressful, and yes, it's stressful for you, and yes, it's stressful for everyone, and yes, it's stressful for your family and your wife or your husband and your kids at times. But ultimately, you can improve those plate spinning, and you can get some help with that. And that may be your spouse, that may be your kids, that may be your healthcare team, that may be some friends, it may be the community. I've been getting a lot of messages recently on Instagram and on other platforms, YouTube as well, which is messages of support, messages of advice. I've been having Instagram live calls with specialists. These are kind of things that actually I wouldn't have even dreamt of doing a few years ago. And now I'm conversing with people who are diabetic from all over the world. And that to me is brilliant. I think even if you can't learn something from someone else, you can at the very least, you can feel an affiliation with them, and your experience can resonate with them, and their experience can resonate with you. And in that, there is strength. So all I'd say is my same post as I put on Instagram this morning. If you are at home on your own and you're feeling lonely, reach out to someone online, reach out to loads of people online, because there is a lot of help out there for people with diabetes. And when I say help, what I mean is help with your mindset. I'm not specifically talking about help with individual areas of diabetes. I'm talking about just having I'm not the only one in this game. Okay, listen, look after yourselves. Let's hope the weather improves in the UK, and the weather anywhere else is good, and you're able to get out of the house. It's really important to do so. Okay, look after yourselves. Good night.